One of my favorite parts about serving as a state officer, and something that I miss right now, is having the opportunity to travel all across the state to visit with chapters and members. On many of my visits and drives, I don't really pay attention to my surroundings while on my way. What I mean by this is that I'm so focused and excited to be able to visit the chapters and meet new people that I often forget to soak in the beauty of North Carolina. I think we can all find ourselves in these types of situations when we're so focused on our destination that we don't acknowledge or appreciate the things that are right in front of us. This type of mentality was definitely present throughout my youth. Growing up, one of my favorite things to do was to ride bikes with my older brother and sister. One summer afternoon, similar to many others, my brother and I decided that we were going to race. And being the youngest sibling, I hate losing. So that day, I was going to win. My brother and I grabbed our bikes from the backyard and headed to the road. We both hopped on. My brother began to count down. 3, 2, 1, go! We both took off, and the only thing that I saw in front of me was the stop sign marking the finish line at the end of the road. I pedaled and pedaled as fast as I could until, right in front of me, set a bump in the road. By the time I saw it, it was too late to react. I hit the bump, my foot slipped back, causing me to hit my back brakes and catapult through the air like a rock out of a slingshot. I flew off the front of my bike. I hit the ground hard, and upon standing up, I saw my brother laughing at me hysterically. I was okay after this situation, but I did realize that I was so focused on beating him, winning, and getting to the finish line that I didn't see something that was quite literally right in front of me. At that moment, I had failed to reflect. After this day, I learned from the situation, didn't make the same mistake, and was able to beat my brother quite a few times. And now when I think back on this time, a moment where I failed miserably, I tell myself, wow, the best was yet to come. Think about where you are right now. We are all in different stages in our lives. You might be the underclassman who's excited to get back into the groove of FFA events, the advisor who is extremely proud of all the hard work that your students have been putting in over this past year, or the senior who is a tad bit sad that this part in your life is coming to a close, but excited to see what life has to offer next. Live in this moment. Embrace this moment and love this moment, but also know that this is just the start. The best is yet to come. With that being said, it's important that we think about where we are going. Last summer, I had the chance to travel to Johnson County, an area that I admittedly am not very familiar with. After spending a long day with some awesome people, it was time for me to head back home. I walked outside, and the first thing I noticed was the raindrop that hit my hand. I don't know about y'all, but I am not a fan of driving in the rain. Disappointed in the weather, I hopped in my car and got ready to go. Jacket off, seatbelt on, and windshield wipers activated. The only thing that I had left to do was to turn on my GPS to drive home. But of course, since I was practically in the middle of nowhere, my GPS stopped working. I began to panic. I'm an hour and a half away from my house. I have no idea where I am. How am I going to make it back? And I took a deep breath. And I told myself, Milosh, think about where you are going. Upon doing this, I was able to calm down a bit and retrace a small bit of my drive back. And with a phone call and some help from my sister and a tiny bit of a miracle, I made it back home. We should all ask ourselves this question. Where are we going? Underclassmen, will you continue to grow within FFA knowing that your story, your passion, and your talent are needed within this organization? My hope is that you will. Parents, guardians, advisors, will you continue to support and pour into FFA members, knowing what this organization has done for them before and will continue to do for them in the future? My hope is that you will. Seniors, will you continue to lead, serve your communities, and advocate for agriculture despite no longer being able to wear the blue jacket? My hope is that you will. Regardless of who you are or your role within this organization, the success that you've seen or experienced because of FFA does not end today. I know how scary it can be thinking 1, 5, or 10 years in advance, but I urge you not to let this fear stand in the way of what waits. Embrace this moment. Ask yourself where you're going. And most importantly, understand that the best is yet to come.